If you hear crying from the walls, don't respond. It starts one night, when you're almost asleep. Just when your mind begins to drift, you hear something strange. It's soft, like a small animal, or maybe a baby. You sit up in bed and hold your breath. There it is again, crying, but not outside, not downstairs. It's coming from inside your wall. You press your ear against the wall beside your bed. It's not a trick. Someone is crying in there. It sounds like a kid, maybe 5 or 6 years old. The sobbing is slow and shaky, like they've been crying for a long time. You whisper, "Hello?" But there's no answer. Just more crying. The sound keeps you up all night. Every time you try to sleep, it starts again. In the morning, you tell your mom, but she just says maybe the pipes are acting up. But you know what pipes sound like. This is different. This is sad. Real. It feels alive. You try to ignore it, but that night, the crying is louder, closer. You put your hand on the wall and feel a tiny knock, like small fingers tapping from the other side. You don't want to listen again, but something pulls you in. You press your ear to the wall. The crying stops. Then, you hear it say your name. You jump back. It's a soft whisper, a child's voice. But it says your name again, slower this time, like it wants to be sure. You stare at the wall. Your heart is pounding. You don't say anything. You don't even breathe. Then the voice speaks again, only this time, it doesn't ask. It tells. It tells you what you did last summer, the secret you've never told anyone. About the time you broke your friend's toy and blamed the dog. You never told anyone that, not even your friend. The voice knows. You back away from the wall, but it doesn't stop. It keeps talking. It says the name of your old dog, the one that died when you were 7. It says the name of the girl you liked in 4th grade. You sit in the middle of your bed, shaking. The wall is quiet now, but you know it's not gone. The next morning, you check behind the wall. You pull your bed away. There's nothing. Just a flat, cold surface. You knock. It sounds hollow, but there's no way a person could fit back there. It's not a crawl space. It's just a wall. You go to school, trying not to think about it. But all day, it's like something's crawling at the back of your brain. Like the voice is waiting. That night, when you're brushing your teeth, you hear something behind the mirror. It's not crying this time. It's breathing, slow and wet, like something sleeping with its mouth open. You don't brush for long. In bed, you try to keep the covers over your head, but it's hot, and your heart is racing, and the wall feels too close. You peek out. It's quiet. You wait a long time. Then, just when you're sure it's over, you hear it. A laugh, tiny, broken, like a kid who doesn't know how to laugh right. It's coming from the wall again. You sit up fast, and that's when you notice something new. There's a line in the paint. A thin, jagged crack that wasn't there before. It runs from the top corner of the wall, all the way down to the floor. You crawl closer. You swear you see something move behind it. Your name again. This time louder. Not a whisper. Not a voice. A call. You shout. What do you want? But it doesn't answer that. It just keeps crying. Then it says something else. Something that makes your skin go cold. It says what your dad said when he left. Word for word. Nobody else heard it but you. You were 6. He didn't even say goodbye to your mom. Just you. And now the wall is repeating it. You scream for your mom. She comes running. You tell her everything. But when she listens to the wall, there's nothing. No crying. No voices. She checks behind your bed and even knocks on the wall. It's just in your head, she says. You're not sleeping enough. You sleep on the couch that night. But even downstairs, you hear something in the vents. Soft, steady tapping. It keeps you up until morning. At school the next day, your teacher pulls you aside. Everything okay at home? She asks. You nod, but you can tell she knows something's off. You haven't been talking much. You keep looking at the corners of the room, at the walls. You start to wonder if maybe it is in your head. Maybe you're just tired, like your mom says. But that night, something new happens. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying not to hear the crying, trying not to listen when it starts saying your name again. But it doesn't just say your name now, it says your thoughts. Things you're thinking in real time, as if it's inside your head. You freeze. Your thoughts stop. Then the voice says, "Why'd you stop thinking?" Your blood turns to ice. You stay still for what feels like hours. Then, slowly, you turn your head toward the wall. You don't want to, but your eyes do it anyway. The crack is bigger now. You swear it's moving, like something behind it is pushing out, stretching the paint. The voice whispers again. It says, "We can see you." You scream. Your mom runs in again, but this time, you're pointing at the crack, yelling that it's getting bigger. She grabs your face, trying to calm you down, but then she stops. She sees the crack. She leans in, runs her hand over it. She frowns. She says she'll call someone to check it out tomorrow. You beg her to sleep in your room. She agrees. That night, she snores next to you while you lie there, wide awake, staring at the wall. The voice doesn't talk. It just laughs, over and over, soft and dry, like it's waiting for something. And that's when you hear a second voice join in. A voice that sounds just like your mom, but your mom is still asleep, right next to you. And now, the crying is coming from the closet. You don't move. You barely breathe. The sound coming from the closet is soft, but it's not the same as before. It's deeper, thicker, like someone trying to cry through a closed mouth. You whisper your mom's name, but she just shifts in her sleep. You try to tell yourself it's a dream. It has to be. But then you hear it again, the voice that sounds like her. Only this time, it's laughing. You sit up in bed. Your room feels too still, like the air isn't moving. You stare at the closet door. It's cracked open just an inch. It wasn't open before. You would have seen that. You would have made sure. But now it's open, and something inside is crying. Then the voice in the wall starts again. Only it doesn't sound like a child anymore. It's slower, like something old trying to remember how to speak. It says your name, then your mom's name, then it says something that makes your stomach twist. It says what your mom dreamed about last night. You never told anyone, but sometimes she talks in her sleep. Last night, she said something strange, something about a man with no skin knocking on the windows. You wrote it down in your notebook because it scared you. But now the voice in the wall is saying it out loud. You look over at your mom. She's still asleep, too asleep. Her eyes are open, but she's not blinking. You whisper, "Mom?" No answer. You shake her shoulder. Nothing. Her eyes are wide, staring at the ceiling, glassy like a doll. You lean in closer, and that's when you hear either breathing. It's coming from the wall. You back away. You stand up. The closet door creaks a little more open on its own. The crying stops. The room is quiet, but it's not empty. You feel it. Something is behind you, watching, learning. You turn around and stare at the wall. The crack is gone now. The whole wall is smooth, like it was painted fresh, but you know it's still there. It's hiding. You run out of the room. You don't stop. Not until you're outside. It's cold, wet. You sit on the porch and wait for morning. When the sun finally comes up, your mom walks out like nothing happened. She blinks. She yawns. She says you look tired, like she doesn't remember anything. You don't sleep in that room again. Days go by. You move into the guest room. The crying doesn't follow. Not at first, but then, one night, it starts again. This time, from under the floorboards, you hear a knock. Then your name. Then, a whisper. "Why did you leave me?" You try to turn on the lights, but the bulb pops. The room is dark again. You hear tiny footsteps, like someone crawling just beneath the wood. You push your dresser in front of the door. You wait. The crying stops. In the morning, you check the wall in your old room. The crack is back. It's wider now, and the paint around it is peeling like it's been burned. You don't go near it. Not anymore. One night you dream of a hallway with no end. The walls are made of mouths, all crying, all saying your name. You wake up with your ears bleeding. Your mom says it's a nosebleed, but you know it's not. It's never just a nosebleed. You try to tell a teacher. They smile, but their eyes don't blink. They say, "Walls don't cry, sweetheart." Then they lean in and whisper the last thing you said in your head, word for word. You run. At home, the cracks are spreading. They're in the kitchen now, the bathroom, even the windows. You stop sleeping. You stop eating. But the crying gets louder. It doesn't just cry, now it begs. It begs you to listen, to come back to your room, It says it's lonely. Then one night, it goes quiet. No crying, no whispers, just silence. You wait. Nothing happens. It stays quiet for 2 days. Then, 3. You start to think, maybe it's over. On the 4th day, your mom knocks on your door. She's smiling, but her eyes are too wide. "We fixed your room," she says. You follow her down the hall. She opens the door. The walls are clean, painted fresh. The crack is gone. But the second you step inside, the air feels wrong. Heavy, thick, like breathing through cotton. You turn to ask your mom if she feels it, but she's already gone. The door shuts by itself. You grab the handle, but it won't turn. You bang on the door. You scream. Then the wall starts whispering again. Only this time, it doesn't say your name. It says something else. Something that sounds just like your voice. It says, "Let me out." And from the inside of the wall, you hear someone crying. From the other side, someone responds. And then, the lights go out.